Good morning. Today is Sunday, June 29th, 2025, and this is the weekly Bitcoin price forecast, looking at where Bitcoin went in the last week and where Bitcoin could potentially go in the future. So we're at the end of June at this point. Overall, it's going to be an up month. So I did think that we would end on a positive note. I thought June would be a little bit stronger. But again, you did have two very strong months coming off of April and May. Even, in spite of all the economic uncertainty that happened, you still had a good several set of months there. But, to see a positive month on June is still good. Like that's great. It just continues on with the rest of the bull run. So, I mean, some people thought that, all right, oh, well, this is over. It's over. It's coming down from February and March. That wasn't the case. It just had a pullback. It was healthy. It had a big run up here, and then it pulled back. And then it had another run up. Now we're at June. We're breaking past these other highs at this point and closing past them too. That's the important part. So here at this point, you couldn't sustain it. And then here in was it December and January, you couldn't sustain it. It hit 100,000 for the first time in December. It was December 4th, I want to say. It tried again in January, couldn't do it. All right, well, let's go down and regroup for a second. Come back up one more time. You absolutely shattered it at this point and closed above it. Yeah, it did close above 100,000 at that point, but you're still continuing to close above these higher levels at this point with a lot of more of optimism politically. You have corporations really hopping on board right now. Institutions are eventually they're going to work their way around to the pension funds once it becomes a little bit less volatile. But some will get in early. Some will see the light and kind of get in early with Bitcoin because it's 100,000. That's a fantastic price still. Like it's going to go up. When I say this, I mean this honestly. For over the next 3 to 5 years, closer to the five, like Bitcoin will reach 100,000. Not even 100,000. It will reach 1 million. That's math. That's not even my opinion and whatnot. Just the same way that I said it's going to reach 250. I am a believer that it is going to reach 1 million within the next 3 to 5 years. Just because, again, based on the patterns that it's been following and the adoption rate, it's there. So with this being June, again, we're talking about the monthly chart. I got a little off track from the charts, but still, this monthly chart is good. It's good at this point to where you can see that Bitcoin really has had a decent June, even with some struggles towards the beginning of the month. It did end up coming back and rallying up to a higher close. So tomorrow will be the 30th, last day of June, and I don't expect anything spectacular on Monday, but going into that month of July, I think we should see some really good things continuing on to the upside. So weekly chart. So this was a good week after several. I mean, really since the end of May. June actually wasn't a great month until the last week of the month for Bitcoin. So it was definitely a month that was shorted for sure. But now we see that there's some breakout. So you have weeks like this to where it just breaks out and breaks out and breaks out for weeks at a time, just holding on to this long. So I do expect it to continue on. Now we're going to get into like that 125 territory. Let's see what we got here. So I'll turn on the drawings. And you see it's just clear skies. It's absolutely clear skies for Bitcoin. It is going to close above this line. It's going to do a couple closes above this escape velocity line that I keep talking about. Again, this one that runs right here, going back all the way to 2021 and 2017 before it. You have a couple things that are going on. So you have the long-term holder realized price. That's way down there. It's never going to get back there. Now you have the short-term holder realized price. You have the 100,000 line. And so at this point, again, you did come all the way from down here and hit 100,000. That was spectacular. And then you just hit it one more time. You tried to sustain it, couldn't do it. Ended up coming up one more time to test it. And now it has sustained for a much longer time than it did over here. So that's good to see. So now I do expect it to continue on to this upside. We can go ahead and delete this. But really the other thing that I can end up looking at too is the fact that this has been a range. So really, even ever since we, kind of had this run up and hit 100,000 for the first time, we've been in a range. Like there has been an absolute range from here to here, somewhere around here. So you've had a range pretty much. So yeah, you did have some type of deviation, but like really, if you look at it, it's had this ranging period ever since November. Like it's been in this area where you could have accumulated and whatnot, but now we're finally seeing a strong kind of breakout to continue on to the upside. So, um, that will easily, I do mean easily, get to 124 and 125. And then you start breaking out into higher levels like this. So this is what I'm expecting. Somewhere along these lines. So, see this breakout one more time, breakout, and then it's just absolutely on the go from there. It could just continue on, and then so on and so forth. So, I mean, something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm expecting. Just a continued breakout, something similar to this, but we'll see. And let's look at the daily chart. So daily chart, we can kind of see it a little bit better. You just see it in more clarity. So you have this instance here where it has really rained for a while. It came below it, ended up testing it one more time, just kind of hung out here for a second, and at that point you had really another bull flag too. You had another bull flag right here. So we could end up calling that a downtrend, and then now you just continue on from the upside. So I think this has been. I think we're at the point now where we're going to see a lot of breakout and just continued upside. So I'm really excited to surf this wave on a lower level. I mean, you'll see different moves, but again, we're at 108 right now. We're at the top of this range, so it may come back for a little bit, test here, but pretty soon it's going to be up to that 110 level. So definitely exciting times ahead. And actually, let's go ahead and look at one more thing. We got a couple more things. So I spent a little bit of time on that chart, but really, if I look at it, let's go to the weekly chart. Bitcoin moves in big loops. Big loops. So you see, this is a loop, this is a loop, this is a loop, this is a loop, and then you end up having something like this. I pre-drew it. I just kind of looked at the different cycles that you have, right? So again, you have a big loop, you have a loop here, you have a loop here and a loop here. It's a parabola. And the thing that I'm looking at is again, Bitcoin does have some type of parabolic motion to it, exponential movements, and then kind of downturns too. But it moves in these bowls. So what'll end up happening is you have this first one that came down, it tapped this little bottom area. You had another one come here, and then this final third one. What I'm seeing is these bowls are getting steeper. They're getting more compressed. The time is getting compressed until now. You just have this absolute liftoff to where this just ends up going up to about 250, 270, and that's not that far because you have a lot of confluence right here. So it's cool. I think we're going to see a lot of good things on the horizon. There's not really any news this week economically. I don't care about any of this. This is all, there's nothing here. And then the market is closed on July 4th. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. And then so I guess non-farm is on Thursday. So they did move that up a day. Usually it's on that Friday, but July 4th is on a Friday. Let's take a look here. You have this is the non-farm employment change, like NFP. What you end up having now is this downtrend essentially. It just hasn't been great for the payroll really, and what you see is, I don't know, it's not a big thing for non-farm employment, especially for Bitcoin. It's a little bit different for things like Forex and gold and whatnot, but NFP for Bitcoin, it really doesn't hold a lot of weight, I would say, but it is more of a telling indicator of how the economy is actually working and, kind of what the state of it is. And I'll tell you, it has not looked good since about the peak of 2021. So about 4 years ago, it's just been a continuous kind of downtrend in the payroll. And a lot of this was really, and I mean, it kind of went off the rails here, but kind of an outlier. But a lot of this was really just this money that came in from COVID. So we'll see. And then the final one that I'm going to look at, because I'm telling you, Bitcoin really is ready to explode. I'm looking at it across several indicators. You're having a bullish cross on global liquidity. So looking at right here, bullish cross, bullish cross, bullish cross, and then Bitcoin's about to explode, right? So you end up having, every time you have one of these, you end up having this bull run. And then you have a bull run here. And then you have a little bull run here, and it's just incredible. I'm really excited for Q2, and that's the other thing too. So we're ending the month, we're ending the quarter, and we are ending the first half of the year. So this next week starts the second. It will start Q2, and I just think that it's going to be incredible. I think that we're going to see an amazing run going into the end of the year. This quarter, I think we will definitely see interest rate cuts. I think we honestly should have seen them this quarter, but that's neither here nor there. But we'll see interest rate cuts. That is definitely going to pump the bag. The thing is, the Federal Reserve really doesn't have a choice. They don't have a choice but to print this money. That's just the way that unfortunately, the United States stays afloat. And Bitcoin is it's an answer to that. It really is an answer to that. And it actually came on the heels of the 2009, 2008 financial crisis. So it's just interesting with the timing. Whether that was organic or the CIA made it, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It is, in my opinion, the best asset that we have right now. Outside of things like gold and other precious metals that are real, I'm a believer that Bitcoin is real. It's something that you can utilize, and something that you can really have for the long run. So I think that's about it for today. Yeah, not too much else. It's kind of go time. I'm even back to day trading at this point with Bitcoin, because that volatility is going to increase substantially. So again, this has been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out any crypto-based resources on christalkscrypto.com, and I will see y'all on the moon. Take care. Bye-bye.